welcome back, everyone. So now, for my second guest, I have a very good friend of mine. He's one of the comedians in the scene. He's also a tour guide, but I'll let him introduce himself. Please welcome my friend Cris. How you
Thank
doing,
you,
man?
brother.
How you doing? Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Good
Thank
to
you
see
for
you.
inviting me.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself a little
Of course.
bit?
My name is Cris Paris. I'm a tour guide here in Madrid. My specialty is bike tours, and I'm half Dutch, so I do most of my tours in Dutch. And I love Madrid. I've been living here for 16 years, but I've done many things. I've been a basketball player. I also worked in the fashion industry. I'm also in the Hurricane hostel business and the business of services, in South America. And I feel Madrillian after 16 years almost living here. And if you wanna see me, you can see me every or next Monday in your show. We're gonna do
For sure,
the 1st of December as a comedy, as a comedian. And it's been alright to be a comedian. I have to be honest. It's kind of the new way of therapy for me. So I've been doing it for a year and a half. So I can almost call myself a comedian as well.
All right.
And my brother, I brought you some gifts.
I was going to mention, because you mentioned this to me. So
I was born in Chile, South America. I had a Chilean father, so I brought you a sign to Chile with two moais. They're called the big one. It's me, and the small one is you. With the date of this podcast, the coordinates to Chile, so you never get lost when you're gonna get and visit me. And behind a little message to you, motherfuckers, with my sign.
Do you want me to read this off?
Yes, of course.
It says, "Fuck and love degenerates." Cris Paris. It's there if you could see it.
My pleasure to you,
guys.
Thanks,
man. This is awesome. I'm
definitely gonna, a souvenir so that you.
This is definitely. I'm gonna definitely keep this in my house.
Remember the big Chilean.
And what some other stuff you brought?
As well, I brought some tea from South America that we drink in this called thing mate, and this we call yerba mate, and it's very strong. It's kind of my other drug that I also take every morning to skip breakfast.
Is it like your version of coffee? Like, do you have that?
This is much better than coffee because coffee, if I take a cup of coffee, I need to pee and shit immediately. With this shit, no, it's more stable, so it doesn't give you that pick.
Is it similar to matcha a little bit or no?
Well, this is a tea that we drink in the south of America, near to the Andes. It's really a tea that's that strong that gives you more oxygen and gives you more energy, so that you can be in altitude next to the mountains.
Oh, wow! So that's like the reason I keep seeing. Yeah,
and it's a combination of herbs. So now I'm putting the herbs, and then I'm gonna.
Do you mix it with hot water, or does it matter?
Exactly. I got hot water here.
Awesome.
Never in boiling, so always beneath 90 Celsius because you don't want to burn the tea. And then I fill it up.
Isn't there something I saw where like you're supposed to put it to the side and have like a little crevice that you put
exactly.
it in?
There are many techniques. So what I like to do, I serve it and I leave a lot of the surface dry, so I don't fill it up all the way in. And you take six.
Sure. Never had this before. Let's see how this is. That's not bad. Actually, it's nice.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually nice.
It's good, eh?
I like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty similar. It has a pretty similar tea taste. I thought because of how much stuff you were putting in, I thought it would like be overpowering, but it's like.
Well, it depends. If you put more tea and hotter water, you will extract much more thein out of it, and it will be much more stronger. And this is, I believe, better than coffee because it gives you this kind of constant energy, and it doesn't make you pee and shit immediately.
Wow, that is really like, and that the gift and everything. That's part of it, like the mug and everything. Or
this is all shit I've collected through the years, but I have many of this mate and where I put the tea and where I put the hot water. And I'm probably gonna get into this business because I consume it so much and I have so many at home, so I'm gonna start selling them.
Wow! So you're gonna have your own. So in addition to, so you mentioned bike tours,
yes,
and tapas tours and all that. You're also gonna be starting this endeavor.
Well, my parents are not here anymore, so the house of my parents in South America, I made a hostel with my brother. And we got this hostel, Girasol Hostel, Sunflower Hostel in South America. And over there, I consumed a lot of yerba mate, and I have some friends that also do it, so they said let's do something, and I'm also kind of a good Chilean, so I want to do something in Chile.
Just something that's like kind of related to your roots and everything.
Exactly, and
nice.
I also have family there. I've got my kid that lives there, so it's something that is also a little bit in my identity, a little bit in my heart, and I need to go every summer or every now and then. I need to be in Chile, to get back to my roots. Yes,
That's
I love
nice.
it there.
So how long do you spend in Chile when you go there?
I try to be there in the high season. That's January and February, because then it's summer over there. So then I skip the winter here, and I go.
Is it pretty warm in Chile in the winter?
Bro, I'm spending Christmas in swimming shorts and
Wow.
at the barbecue, chilling, drinking pisco.
Can I come too and just miss my family?
Fucking let me know, man. Let's go to the end of the world. Chile is, I
wanna
go
check
to
Chile out,
Chile.
though.
I go to the mountains. The hostel that we have is 400 kilometers north from Santiago, the capital. Very near to the airport, so very easy to get.
Oh, so it's like pretty quick. Okay.
But in the middle of the mountains, so that's very nice. You can really disconnect in that place. And if you want to go to the city, you have a beach at 10 kilometers. So it's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
You mentioned you have your kid back in Chile. Like,
Yes.
Do you see him pretty often?
Well, he's an animal. Every time I go to Chile, I try to see him and to spend the most time with him. But he's very small. It's
How old is he right
about
now?
to be 6 in
Oh, he's
February.
okay. All right.
Yeah, so he's about to start school, and probably I'm gonna see him in February when he has some summer holidays. Yeah, because there's summer holiday days. So then I'm gonna see them in Chile.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Has they ever visited you in Madrid at all or not?
Well, he was born here, so
okay,
they
right,
moved
okay.
they moved to Chile with my ex to Chile, well, to the south of Chile about 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I have my brother in Barcelona. I have my family in the Netherlands. I have family in South Carolina, in Miami, and in San Francisco.
So your family,
they're
like, they
all over the world.
They went, so they just kind of dispersed. They didn't like stay in one thing.
Exactly. They immigrated like me, and like my parents, like my grandparents. We are kind of nomads in this 21st century, I guess, and this new way of living where you move. Looking for a better job to improve yourself and to become something, or to get something better.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of.
You did the same, right?
I mean, yeah, I did the same, and it's not anything against, like, a slight against Chicago or anything. Like, I love my family and I like my roots, but I sort of just saw like that place wasn't really serving me too well. Like, I could never connect with people as much as I do in Europe. I did consider Italy because I have like, you said yours all over the place. Mine is literally Italy and a little bit of America, and I have one cousin that's in Madrid that I don't really see too often. But I don't know.
Well, you guys us now, man.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah, man. I mean, like, yeah, like, so Madrid. Like, what made you decide on Madrid specifically, or you started in Barcelona, or and then
well,
Madrid,
I'm half Dutch, so my mother's Dutch, but with French background. So I lived in the Netherlands as well, and I did my first bachelor in Groningen, in the north of the Netherlands. I did sport management there from 2006 till 2010, and then I moved to Madrid to play basketball. That was actually
well, I mean, you have the physique for basketball. I mean,
I'm a little guy in the basketball world, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Really? No, there's no way.
Yeah, in the professional world, I'm not the biggest one in the team, of course, and I'm an average guy in the basketball world. I came here in 2010 to play second and third division, and also play at my university. I did my second bachelor here of physical education in La Autónoma de Madrid, and then that's the reason I came here. But then I got injured after 5 years playing professionally. I also went to Chile. Made me horny, baby. So. So we should have some music here.
We should. But we should. I mean, I'm down for shots, but the music we got to do the copyright and everything.
True. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Yeah,
I'm absolutely down for. I mean, the podcast is called Bar Takes. I feel like it would be sacrilegious if we didn't have shots.
We should have a whiskey.
Yeah.
Why not?
Want to do one?
Bring it on.
Yeah,
bringing up. But you know what I was saying? I came here
continue.
to play basketball, and after 5 years playing basketball, I got injured. I didn't know what to do with my life. I started drinking, eating. You know, like we say in Madrid, la buena vida, la poca vergüenza. And you know, the good life, no shame. And I discovered that, you know, Madrileños live for the free time. They live outside. They go out for dinner, and they like their wine in the afternoon. Doesn't matter what. They like their licor. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Again, thank you again for being on this podcast.
My pleasure, bro. Oh, fuck. I'm not going to short that one, but I'm going to sip it. I'm going to enjoy it. There you go, man.
I don't know if the camera picked that up, but sometimes when I can't finish a shot, I don't know if you catch that or the camera did.
Now we're gonna.
I'm gonna draw attention to this just because it's kind of funny. If I can't finish a shot or I do it and there's a little left, I just pour it in my beer and just finish it that way.
The French, they do that as well.
Yeah, like I've done that. There's like cocktails in America where like you'll like take a shot of something or whatever, and you'll mix it with beer, like usually whiskey or whatever.
All the Russians, they do that as well.
Oh, well,
the
Russians,
Germans, they do it as well, right? They put some liquor in their beer.
I almost pissed off one of my friends once because I did this specifically just to see what their reaction would be. But they got like a bottle of wine and I had beer. You know, I was like hanging out with them. I was having, and I tried pouring the wine in the beer, and they stopped me and they were just like, "Nico, no, like no." And I'm like, "What?" Like I poured like, "No, this is different. Do not do that."
Bro.
No, it was disgusting. It was absolutely vile. I was like,
I have done calimocho, that is wine and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, no, that's pretty.
Tinto verano, that is
common,
wine and Fanta lemon, or water with sparkling water. But yeah, man, wine and beer. That's
no, it was rancid.
Crazy shit.
No, it was rancid. I did it just to mess with them, and I was messing with them, and they got really mad, and I was just like, okay, never mind, no, I won't do it. But
so you know, I started having the good life when I moved into the city center. I decided to move to the city center because, you know, I wanted to experience Madrid. So then where did I move? Next to Metro Gran Via.
That's where I live now.
Next to Street Montera, in front of a bike shop where they were giving bike tours in Dutch. So then suddenly in front of my balcony I have 40 Dutch people waiting for a bike tour in Dutch. And that's the way I got into the, you know, Dutch tours, and I started living in the middle of the most busiest shopping street and prostitution street.
Oh no!
Did you know Montera? But I'm talking about 2013. I moved to Calle Jardines, next to Metro Gran Via, and Montera Street, man, that was like we would call in the Netherlands, the Walstraat, the street of prostitution, where you will have all the girls on the side, they will fight at night. Man, that was crazy. So then I started living, you know, the Madrileño life, and that was going out for dinner and for drinks almost every night and getting to know people. And I started to love how the Madrileños live, you know.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the exact same.
Madrileños are amazing. You know, you can talk about anything with them. You can talk about sports and politics and about sex, and you know, you can solve the problems of the world.
I know,
you will never
amazing.
talk about work. It's unpolite.
Right. Like that's the biggest thing, because
the question you did to me in the first question, that's unpolite. You asked me, but you know, we don't care what you do for work. We care what you do in your free time.
I noticed that.
And where do you go for dinner? You know, we don't give a fuck if you are a lawyer or you are a big time whatever. You know, it's be funny. Be someone that is nice to be with. Yeah, not.
I've seen like so many people at like raves and like techno stuff where like you would never guess what their profession is. there were these guys, like I saw them, they were like, you know, they were shirtless in this like underground techno thing. So we do for like, oh yeah, I'm a lawyer, and I'm like, what? And it was like, and that's what I love, because in America, I don't think you can do that. Like you can't. I mean, that depends, because I used to have a boss who, you know, he was like the head of a healthcare thing, and I found out later he's like a professional Halo 3 player.
Uh-huh.
And that was not what I expected at all. And I heard he streams it too, and I was just like, what? Like that took me. So sometimes it's possible in America, but I do think there is this like different stigma in America specifically, where like they'll see your social media or they'll see that, and if they see that you even went out to party for like one day, if it's not anywhere in your profile, like I don't want to hire this person. Which for me personally, I always think is very ridiculous, because I think that as long as you do good work, why does it matter what you do in your free time? Like personally, at least.
Well, if you get judged by the by your coworkers or by the job that you're doing in your personal life, I think it's not the right job.
A million percent, yeah.
Nowadays we have so many. It's so diverse. The different kind of jobs there are. If you are waiting every week for Friday,
It's like a very life. It's like a
fucking,
very like depressing.
stop working there, bro. Take a risk. We can all be doing the typical jobs behind a computer that are gonna start to vanish after
Oh, I know, yeah.
AI. So there are so many things to discover that people. I think I never stop discovering myself. So I have so many friends. They do so many boring shit, man.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, I
in front of
know,
the
yeah.
computer and they're like, yeah, I can't wait for Friday. I'm like, bro,
It's like if you have
do
to
something.
That's like literally 5 days of your week where you're just spending it kind of meandering around doing something you don't really like. That like, yeah, it's making you money, and some
But
people can make the argument.
if you have kids and you have responsibilities,
No, yeah,
all right,
obviously,
I
yeah.
understand it. But if you're fucking single and you're living alone, come on.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
look for joy. Look for joy,
There
and
was-
don't complain if you are really doing what you think you want.
no, I know it's not really like this is something I've learned just based on a lot of the different types of people I've talked to, is that just consistently like a lot of them are always just kind of like the people who I always see are the happiest are the ones that are just kind of doing what they want to do. Even if it starts to become work after a while, like, well, yeah, it's work, but at least it's still something I kind of like. It's not
Yes.
like if I'm doing, because I've had many jobs where I had like zero passion for it, and I was like just going through it, and it wasn't really until I started doing, like this and the comedy stuff, where I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, I feel like this is like a little bit more my wheelhouse, and it's like what I like a little bit more and everything. There was like an interesting quote from there's a show that me and one of the heads of Dinner Abroad, Omar, watched a show called Smiling Friends, and the creator of it, like it's animation, it's like animation, and it's really out there. Like they mix and match animation
What
styles.
kind of show? Like
It's animation,
Okay.
but it's like comedy animation. It's like very cartoony characters, but with very realistic dialogue. So like their way they put it is like we make it all cartoon like that, but like they can have heart problems. They can have like if they do get punched in the stomach, they will get winded and have to breathe weird. So it's a really like for me, it's a really funny show. But anyways, the point I was making is he had this really interesting bit that I saw earlier on a podcast he did where he was talking about his favorite picture, which is this picture from 1910, and it's like the New York Exchange, but it's a picture of like hundreds of people just on the street looking at the camera. And he's like, why I like that picture a lot is that every one of those people are dead, and like mostly and even their relatives probably don't even know their names. Like so, like you're watching this, like every person in that picture. I'm by the way, I'm quoting this guy. I'm not making this my own thought, but his name is Zach Hadel, and he was like saying that every single one of them, they had a favorite joke, they had a girl they loved, they probably had problems, they probably had that, and not a single person like remembers even their name or like anything really about them. But they all existed in that period of time. Just that it was at a period of time where not, a lot of stuff was documented. So they came and went, and I feel like I really resonated with that because I'm like, yeah, when I looked at that picture, I looked at it for a bit because I was like, it was an interesting take on it, and I saw that like that is an interesting take to do about it because like all those people are gone, every single one of them is gone. Like no one really remembers that. Like no one knows their names, no one knows anything, but all of them had died. So it's like the time you have, it shouldn't be so hyper focused on the future and legacy and everything because that stuff I think after like what maybe like 50 years after you pass or 60 years that it goes away.
People will gonna die.
Yeah, no, essentially no, really.
After 50 years, no one's gonna remember us.
Well,
Who gives a fuck? Enjoy
you
the ride.
exactly, that's my point.
And
Exactly.
if you're drunk enjoying the ride, who cares?
No, I
one's
know.
gonna remember it after 50 years.
That is actually that does lead me to so I have a series of questions that I'm not going to go through all of these, but these are series of questions from Inside the Actor Studio. If you ever heard of that, it was an American television program, and so I like to kind of ask my guests these because I think these are very insightful questions that help you get to know someone better.
All right.
So the one I'm going to start with is, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word.
What's your favorite word?
In general, I think querido or querida.
And the meaning of that for the
It's
people at home.
dear.
Dear.
Dear, trying to everyone trying. How you doing, dear? How you doing, my brother?
Oh,
How
like
you
the
doing?
term endearment. Okay, yeah. Why is that one of your favorite words?
Because it's how I try to connect with people. How I
It's like-
show
it's
them
like
my sneaky love.
It's like a way to like kind of put the barriers down a bit, and you're like, hey, we're cool, like we're good, and everything.
Of course, I always try to show that I'm never gonna harm you.
That's very nice, though. I guess that leads me to the second one.
I might take advantage of you, but I will never harm you.
I think that contradicts it, but all right. I think it directly contradicts that, but all right.
Life is full of contradictions.
All right. The other one I had is, what's your least favorite word?
I guess cancer.
I think that's most people's least favorite word.
But you know what? But the fucking Dutch. Well, I'm Dutch as well. We the Dutch, we also use cancer as a curse word. So
It's a curse word.
Like we can say cancer this. Like the Colombians use gonorrhea. The Colombians also do use this sickness gonorrhea as a curse word. The Dutch also do, and I fucking hate it, man. And when I hear someone like conquer this or cancer this, I'm like, fuck, man. Shall we use other words?
So cancer is is it in Dutch they use cancer? Is it? Or?
Yes.
So there's like cancer this, cancer. It's like saying the word fuck that or fuck
yes,
this. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That is interesting.
This is one of the things I hate.
I'll do it because some of these are like kind of similar questions, but I'll combine them. All right. So, what turns you on and what turns you off?
Oh man, any skin, any
Turns you on?
If I see skin and I like it, it turns me on.
There's a very good club you should go to called Skin. I don't know if you've ever been there before. Have you ever been there? Do you know what I'm talking
There's
about?
a very good club. It's called Black and White. Been there?
That's one I actually have not heard of. I don't know if you're fucking with me. Is that an actual place?
This is an actual place here on the corner.
We'll go one day. We'll go. I want to check it out.
It's a gay place, and it's.
Oh, never mind.
Very horny.
Wait, do you know about Skin though, or no? Like, you never heard of it?
No, I don't think so.
It's like a hard techno place where essentially like you need to like enter like you are not allowed to have a shirt on when you go in.
All right, that's
so you're not like it's I'm gonna get too into it. I'll tell you off the thing. But anyways, I'll tell you more about it. But no, it's a really cool place. I think you would love it. So what's the one that turns you off then?
What turns me off?
Yeah.
Fake people.
Fake people.
Fakeness.
What's your definition of a fake person?
When someone is being an hypocrite and trying to seduce me in a fake way.
So do you have any examples?
Not genuinely. I want to see the true coming out of you, and if it is wrong, or if it is right, if it is horny,
whatever it is you want the truth.
It's welcome, exactly, but not fucking fake. So that's what turns me off tremendously. Is something that I cannot.
So springboarding off of that, do you think there's any fakeness in the comedy scene at all?
Well, there is a lot of people, they don't know how to be themselves. And to be up there on stage is one of the challenges, to be yourself and make it funny. And that's a challenge. So yes, of course, we are constantly struggling to be ourselves on stage, also to me. And I see that a lot. And I believe when a set doesn't come out well, it's because you were trying to show off too much and not really being your true self and communicate, genuinely. And that's something that we all miss. That is something that's part of the theater, part of the performance. So
there's like some bit of acting to like kind of the performance of comedy. In some bit of a sense.
For me, it is. For me, it's a set. It's a performance. If you are able to do the same performance and getting the same punchlines out and the same timing, and people love it, probably you can change a little bit the timing. You have to, of course, read the people.
But exactly. Yeah.
That's also part of the magic, part of your practice, part of your trying to be a master of something. And you can always try to do it, but if you don't try it enough, you're gonna fake it, and that's something that happens a lot.
it's like kind of marrying that kind of thing of like being yourself, but also being a presence that's worthy of being on stage. And like you have to kind of fight for that attention of like,
You know, so I'm a tour guide as well, and when I see guides, they're fucking boring, and people are like looking at the sky.
Yeah, they're just like
not even
like,
listening. You know, they're looking at the fucking birds. You know, that's not showtime. That's not entertainment. That's not a real tour. That's just
no, it's just like kind of going through the motions
about shit about history.
right?
The same about the comedy. It has to have significance, and it has to be a performance. Yeah, so if you're telling something just randomly, okay, that can be an open mic, that can be a storytelling, but I think we have to work in the sense of that we're doing a performance. So every 20 or 25 seconds, we're bringing some laughs. Yeah, we're bringing a punchline. We're bringing something and that we think it's funny, and that's for me comedy.
So do you think there's some kind of like similarities between comedy and like trying to do a tour guide?
There is, because it's a performance, different goal, but you are in front of the public. You're kind of trying to get something out and to to be certain that you are achieving your goal. One is get to know Madrid and have a real experience about history, culture, and food. And the other is about having fun and getting to know the comedian so that you can see me my next show, or you want to see me in the future when I'm a real comedian,
Has the tour guide stuff like helped you learn stuff to do comedy a bit?
Well, I think it's a step away.
It's like, yeah.
It's kind of in the same, you're a musician and you can be a drummer or you can be a singer. The same. This is, you can be a tour guide, you can be a performer, you can be a comedian. So for me, it's also kind of, being behind a bar. Behind the bar, like we are now being clients.
Yeah,
being
exactly.
behind the bar is also a performance, because a bartender has to sell. If I got a bartender that's looking at his phone all the time and he's not being funny and is not, getting all the clients to drink and offering shots, and
you have to be fun. Yeah, you have to be fun.
If you don't like it, go fuck away.
Right? No, I agree.
Don't fake it. Don't try to because you want to be part of the circle. No, you truly have to, give it a chance, and that's when you don't fake it.
And I guess another one springboarding off of that is, gracias. I guess another one springboarding off of that is, what do you usually try to look for when you're doing like a tour guide? Like, what's something that you want the people that you're giving the tour guide to feel? And like, what are some really important key points that you have for that?
First of all, that they feel comfortable so that they can ask me anything. And how do you do that? Breaking the ice. And how do you break the ice? Making people laugh. So I tell them, if you want to film something, please let me know that you need this TikTok so we can film it in the best way you can have the TikTok. So I always joke around telling people that they have to feel comfortable, they can ask me anything. Yeah, and that's for me the first thing, most important thing. And then the second is that they enjoy. When you see people that they are distracted and they look away and they're not really feeling what I'm saying, I'm doing something wrongly.
Yeah, because when they get bored, that's when
they're gonna watch around. They're gonna have enough time to take pictures. They're gonna ride this bicycle and they're gonna see everything. But when I'm talking, I want their attention because I wanna have them to have an experience, and that's me being funny and being storytelling about history, culture, and food. And that's for me that it is a ride that people are really into it. And then afterwards, you know what people say? They go like, Cris, amazing tour. Thank you very much. You can see it. People really enjoy it. And I love that attention. I love that feedback. I love that endorphin, serotonin, when I see people laughing, when I see people enjoying what I'm telling them. And then when I say, hey, this is the best seat in the world, they go, no, why? And then after the tour, they go like, yes, it might be one of the best cities in the world. And then it's mission accomplished,
I mean, from everything I've seen, you seem to do a really good job of it.
Cheers,
like,
brother.
Cheers, yeah. Let's do one. Cheers, guys. First episode, Bar Takes. Degenerates Abroad.
I might take advantage of this guy at the end of the interview after so many shows.
I actually couldn't do anything about it if you did, so.
No, I'm a good boy now.
What was that? What is that?
Oh, there was something differently.
What is that? It's very, Tim, do you know what that is? Oh, what was it? Because it was very smooth. It was like was like flavored water.
That was flavored water.
That was flavored. That wasn't
was
alcohol.
iced tea, guys.
That was iced tea. That was 100%
We're not
iced
professional
tea.
drinkers, believe me.
That was, yeah, that was fucking iced tea. That's iced tea, right? Am I right?
He gave us iced tea. Okay.
Okay, well, all right.
One
so
of
then-
iced tea, one of alcohol.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
We're probably too drunk.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm fine. But
No, I mean, we drink too much, so they're kind of.
so yeah, no, but I mean, this does. No, I'm not joking. This tastes like we have a thing in America called Mio, where it's like this little squirt bottle of flavor that you squirt in your drink,
Okay.
and it flavors the water. That's what that tastes like to me. It's like a flavored. Anyways,
What's a good shot of sugar?
yeah, like it tastes like
Better-
sugar water.
Well, do you know the other whiskey was good, but I wasn't ready for it. But,
I kind of want that other whiskey again. We'll ask him when he comes back.
No worries.
So I'll get through these last ones. So the other one is, what is your favorite curse word?
Fucking and fuck.
Fuck.
You know, because
Because it's the most. It's versatile, right?
because I kind of love this history that this word had. You know, your fuck. It comes from the medieval time. They say fornication under the commission of the king. So you know, when you were getting married, the first one that had access to have intercourse with your wife were the rich people, the fucking dukes. So
What year was this? This was like 16?
this is 13, 14th century.
1300s. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about medieval times, you know,
Like,
crazy.
is this around like Bohemia? Or?
Like fucking William Wallace, they might take over. That movie goes about a little bit about that. You remember they got married illegally in the forest, and then this Englishman came and took her life because William Wallace did spend the first night with his wife, and not he. So from that era, the word "fucks" comes from. I like to believe that. And so, if you had the authorization of the king, you would put a flag outside your tent, telling people that you have the permit to fuck your wife. Imagine. So you would put a flag outside and it was just "fuck fornication under the commission of the king."
Is that actually what that word?
I don't know, but I love.
I
this
mean, like,
stuff.
I want to believe, because I think me and you, we both like history quite a bit. I get more into the ancient history. Like that's the one that my wheelhouse is. Like, I like a lot of Greek history. I like a lot of Roman Empire stuff. I always find the really ancient stuff. That's like my wheelhouse. I find fascinating. The medieval stuff I'm more recently getting into a bit. There's like this game that I was playing for like a while, and I'm trying to get back into. It was called Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and it takes place in the 1200s, maybe 1300s Bohemia.
Okay.
And it's like but the thing with it is it's super realistic. So like if you rob someone or like you steal something, if you go back like a day or two, they're gonna recognize you. And I've had like it was an interesting like kind of way of like, or like you need to keep track of your hunger, your sleep. If you don't sleep, you fall asleep in the street and someone robs you. Like it's a very, if you have dirt on your clothes, like the nobles won't talk to you, or people will not give you good deals because like, no, I don't want to deal with you because you look homeless. It's a really cool game. Like I want to. The winter is the time to get back into it, but I was learning like a lot of different things about history. Like,
And history is amazing.
it is. It's very like it's
also,
very
also
interesting.
kind of tricky because who writes history?
The winners.
The winners.
The winners
and
always
the
write
ones that
history,
know
right.
to write. So you know it's probably very one-sided. You know, and that's a big problem.
Oh no, 100%.
With history, so it's also kind of a fairy tale. You know,
More than I really do think more than there's like a theory that a lot of like Greek and Norse mythology, the two like the ones that most people know along with Christianity, people think that they were based on like real people, like Odin and Thor, and like they were real people at a time, but they made them god deities, and there's just no record of their actual person because they wanted to deify them. And that's like
kind of crazy. It's like the
it's
people,
crazy,
they
but
go to pay tribute to the fallen angel, you know, Lucifer.
yeah, I mean, because for me, like, I genuinely like Greek and Norse mythology. Like, they're vastly more. I need to learn more about Egyptian mythology. That's the one I haven't learned a lot about. But mythology and stuff is like one I always get like pretty into.
Well, the Egyptians, yeah, and you know the Moors, the Romans, the Greek. They're all big influencers of our society that we
Oh,
have
no.
here in the south of Europe, man. and that fucking way of living and leisure and going out and enjoying the free time. We all got it from the Egyptians and the Greek and the Romans, you know.
Do you know Alexander the Great? Like, do you know?
Alexander, yeah,
Yeah,
of
like
course.
he's like for me, he's one of the most fascinating historical people for me. For a lot of reasons. One is that like I think all the divides of Europe, like they started with him, because he conquered so
Yeah.
much, and he started. There was a speech that I don't know how accurate it is because they translated it from like a stone tablet, and they had so it's up in the air how accurate that translation is.
Uh-huh.
But it was like this very, very like it's one of the best speeches I've ever heard in my life, where it's all these like kind of these soldiers, and they're wanting to go home after this long war, and he just mentions all of the deeds that he's done to make them comfortable. He's like, "You're not soldiers to me. Like I'm in the front lines with you. I have scars everywhere. Every part of my body is a scar. I have been stabbed. I've been shot with arrows. I have everything. I'm in the front line. I did that, and on top of that, I gave most of you the acolytes, and I made sure all of you lived comfortably for all the work that you did for me." He's like, "So if you do want to go home, that's fine, but I'm willing to fight for my country, and I made you guys these top tier. Like I supported your wives. When you had children, I always supported them. When you needed debts, I always cleared them for you. I did that because I'm a leader who cares about his people, and I'm a leader who wants you to connect with me. Now, if you want to go, I'm paraphrasing entirely, but like, and probably even the translation is paraphrasing entirely. But essentially, it was this very passionate speech about how he's like, and also, I don't wear robes. You never see me wearing purple. You never see me wearing that. I am wearing the same shit as you because I'm in the front lines with you. I am not, and I really do, and I genuinely still, I hold the same belief as him, where I think every leader should, for countries and stuff, they should have be in the front lines at some point. I think because that guy was not willing to die for his country, but keep in mind, and back in those days, was all swords and that. So it's up close. Like he probably was stabbed a bunch of times, probably shot in arrows, and he still just kept going. And I feel like someone that persistent with intolerance to pain, with that, like that is an actual leader. And I think that like again, history is written by the winners. But from the stuff I've read, uh, he's probably one of the best leaders that's ever existed, in my opinion. And he's responsible for so much of our modern society. I think just that one guy. It's a very fast. There's a movie.
Alexander, yeah.
There's a movie too about him, but it was a little long-winded. But it's Colin Farrell plays him, but it's an interesting movie to watch.
Yeah, I kind of admire the craziness of those times and of how how we did really get where we are right now. You know, we had the
Yeah.
wars, and then the Castilians, and then the French. And thanks to the French, we actually, are republics and we have rights. And so yeah, it's kind of crazy that if that kind of crazy people like Alexander the Great and Napoleon and his brother, or even fucking Hitler, if those people they were not in power, we will haven't maybe
We wouldn't have been
get
where
to
we
the
are
place
now.
where we are right now. And when human rights really is something that we apply, I guess.
It's something. I think there's something that's what I find fascinating about the ancient stuff is all the human laws we have now. Like they don't entirely like apply back then. So people were more like, how do I put this? Like the people who were like the leaders and stuff, they were people who actually like physically, not just intellectually. They were physically and intellectually like very intelligent people and very capable people. Like you could put them in the front lines of war and they will just conquer. Because as far as I think records show, Alexander the Great, he died of like a disease or something. He didn't die from like a war. As far as I know, maybe I got to look this up before I do the podcast again and double check on that. I definitely do have to fact check some stuff, but no, but like as far as I know, like that stuff was always but the ancient stuff is what gets to me. And like the Roman Empire, I mean, there's always that joke that men always think about the Roman Empire, but there's a reason, because it's a very fascinating, it lasted for like, what is it, like 700 years, am I wrong? Or maybe you know more than I do about that.
Approximately, yeah, we can say that the fall was end of the 5th century. So about 900 years, the Roman Empire, we're going to say, yes.
And it disbanded all because of the Germanic barbarians, as far as I know.
Well, it was blocked. The Visigoths, the Celtics.
Yeah.
Um, we don't actually know much why it really did fall, because it was so big. It was, I think,
It's very
like
crazy to
everything,
think of that.
politics. Politics.
There's that painting. You ever see those like paintings, The Fall of the Roman Empire?
What you thought about Gladiator 2, the movie?
Glad. eh, So I'm in a weird position with that movie because
I can watch the first one like over
I know.
and over and
Okay, so
over.
that's what I was gonna
But the
say.
second
I'm the
one,
same.
nah.
It's okay. It's like because I was in the same position as
It's
you.
kind of, the acting is kind of, again, fake.
Yeah, like
I
it's
see
not
kind
like
of,
right. Like
the
it's
move
like yeah.
of this guy, like it's,
They put
I
a
don't
lot
want to
of
say he's not a
modern.
good actor, but it's like kind of
Which one are you talking about?
the main character. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
he's
Like
like the son of, he's,
was it Aaron
he's,
Taylor
he's
Johnson
the
or
son
no?
of,
Was
he's
it
the
Aaron
son
Taylor
of
Johnson? Up there?
Maximo.
Yeah, he was the
Probably,
son.
you know?
I know. I
Yes.
mean, there's some stuff that's based on like real stuff, but there's like other stuff that I would see it and I would be a bit like, yeah, this is a billion% something.
Man, there is this crazy story that I always like to tell about this tavern in Antonio Sanchez. It's one of the oldest taverns that there is here in Madrid, next to the square Tirso Molina. And over there, there's this kind of fairy tale that everyone tells, and it's probably true, that when Napoleon was here, when the soldiers were they occupied Madrid, the Spanish soldiers, they killed one of the soldiers, French soldiers, in Tirso Molina. And they were very afraid that they will, Napoleon will discover this and they will fucking kill everyone. So they took the French and they put it in a barrel, underground in Antonio Sanchez tavern, and they put wine in it. And the soldiers, to keep using that wine, not to bring suspicion that they were suspicious that someone, or why are they not using that barrel? They will still be using that barrel, and they will drinking wine out of it. The Spanish,
with the decomposing body in it.
with the French body in it.
Wow.
So then it got very famous, and people started asking for the wine of the French.
So people are,
and then they say that because of that, sangria was invented.
That's fascinating.
And this
So
is
sangria came from a decomposing body in a wine barrel.
Sangria is an improvement of wine. So probably they put the wine in there and it was fucking tasting like shit. They put some liquor, some fruit, some something to make it better. And you got the wine of the French, and then afterwards they call it sangria.
That's how I think rum was invented in a similar way. Because I know that like the pirates and stuff. Because I'm into the pirate stuff is another one. I'm like, it's like my kind of more my wheelhouse. But like I remember like rum was invented because they would just have like all this kind of sugar and barley and everything, and they would put like
rum was invented as a medicine to clean the bacteria of the food.
Really?
So you will eat something, and before eating it, you will pour some rum, but like very strong flor de caña, like very strong liquor, to kill all the bacteria, so that you cannot get sick. And that was the first ways of consuming alcohol. It wasn't really to get drunk like we do nowadays, like we're here taking shots.
We're literally doing I mean like
that was after, but I believe one of the first use of rum was that the cane came from India. They imported it back in the 16th century, and when they were making this liquor, that was the idea of it as a medicine.
It started in the Caribbean, am I right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because did it start? Because what I've learned is that like it's essentially like they even used to have like dead rats in the rum that would like decompose, and like that's what like because when they were on like the seas and everything, and they couldn't stop
alcohol will kill everything,
No, obviously it's gonna kill us at some point.
Exactly,
if we keep going.
Yes.
No, it's interesting though. Like I'm trying to remember. I think they would put lemons in it so it would prevent scurvy. I could be completely wrong on that, but
no fucking idea, bro.
Nah, the pirate stuff. No, the pirate stuff was
like they're like the liquor from Madrid, licor de madroño. That was also used as a medicine back in the 12th century. In the 12th century, they were already doing like a fermentation of this fruit, this tree, this bush that does not hide at 5 meters. You can see it everywhere in Madrid. And they were doing like a brebaje, a fermentation of a juice. And because of consuming that juice, they were, going through the winter in a better shape. and that was, making the kids stronger. They were giving liquor to the kids back then. Can you imagine? So that's the reason we have the Madron, the tree, and the symbol of the city. So it was a medicine, but nowadays we drink as a digestive liquor, to get everything
Together,
well in.
it's really strange, like the process that alcohol and all these other things. Like I remember also in Vikings, like the berserkers, they would take like mushrooms, and that was a thing they did to get ready for battle, and that was a thing to like go crazy and like
Like
take
the
a bunch of
Vikings, yeah,
the Vikings and everything, and like it's
No.
it's insane that now there's just like frat bros that'll take it and be like, oh, I'm having a good time. I'm like,
Well, when now,
it's
now we
it's
do it
crazy.
to hook up and to have a good time and to be social and to get
It's fascinating though, like
individualization out of our head, I guess.
I know. I mean, like, it's an interesting thing that, I mean, you could sometimes, I think, even almost make the argument that the Industrial Revolution, I think, like, started so much of this in like a very big way. It's really like it's crazy. Like prohibition is like another big thing. Was like there's this big thing in America where like it's prohibition, and it like led to gangsters, and actually like the banning of it led to like so much more crime related to it that they finally were like, well, yeah, I know we're better off if this is just legal.
Legalize drugs, all of them.
I'm gonna be honest. I was nervous saying this because I know my family watches, but I do agree with you on that. Like, no, genuinely, I do agree with you on that because I think that once you decriminalize all that stuff, like you're gonna have it more regulated. Like instead of getting it from like a back alley or anything like that, you're gonna get it from a pharmacy with someone who is like professionally trained in regulating the whatever, and like and they could stop you when you say, hey, we know you need a refill, and like this is the amount you're supposed to have. So I do agree. I think Portland did that. Portland and a couple other countries. Portland in America did it. I can't remember. Did Cuba? No, not Cuba. It was another. Do you know? There's another country that legalized all of them. I think.
Well, in Sweden and in the north of Europe, a lot of drugs, hard drugs, like morphine or even fucking crack. It's kind of legal. They're not gonna put you in jail.
It's like decriminalized, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but they want you, to not consume it, but they will give it to you if you are an addict. So I guess they're working the way around it. With the Dutch, what we do is you can go to the fucking police station and test the drugs that you are carrying.
That's insane.
So you're consuming the right, doses or the right quality.
I'll finish off on this really funny story I just remembered from that. Is when I was like younger, I was really into Breaking Bad, and they sold this blue rock candy. They're supposed to replicate it, and because I was a big Breaking Bad fan, I just got it. And I kept a bag of it in my drawer. I was like 13 or 12. I was 14. No, it's candy. It's like rock candy. Okay. But I kept it. I got it from a candy store, and if my dad watches this, he'll know what I'm talking about. But he found it, and my parents thought I was doing. For some reason, they thought I was doing meth at like 14, and I'm like, where would I even have the connections to do that? And so they like sternly came up to me and they were talking to me.
Your parents, they thought out of you.
They thought, and I was like, I was laughing. So
are you doing meth?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm literally like 13 or whatever. Maybe I was
were you swinging around a lot?
Was I what?
You were swinging around a lot. Am I doing that?
No, at that age, no. But maybe it was 14. I don't know. I can't remember the exact age. But they found it, and my dad, he's in the medical field and stuff. So he's like, well, we're gonna test it, and we're gonna see what you're up to. And I couldn't stop laughing,
really?
and I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, Dad, like, look, no, like listen, I promise you, it's can't like have a taste. Like I'm not touching that stuff, and I'm like, I'm not joking. Like, please have a taste of it. Like it's not what you think. And he's like, well, we're gonna test it. We're gonna blah blah blah. And he went back and he came back to me with like his head down. I'm like, what was it? He's like, yeah, it was candy. I'm like, what did I tell you at the very beginning? He's like, I know. And I'm like, you really thought at that age I could even get my hands on something like that?
Man, parents.
No, I know. I love them though. I love them. I'm looking forward to seeing them in a couple weeks. For sure. Yeah, so it'll be nice. All right. So I think that will do it for our first episode of Bar Takes. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed this. This is the second episode. Thank you for joining me for the second episode of Bar Takes. I really appreciate you all joining me. I appreciate Rockets coming. I appreciate my very good friend Cris and all of his wonderful gifts. I am absolutely going to be having more of this.
Yeah, brother.
Like, because I
Thank you
thought
for
it would be
having
so
me.
much stronger, and it's like so smooth and
We
nice.
should-
I'm definitely going to be, and I also
Sharing
again,
is caring.
yeah, I know, and I really do appreciate the gift you got. That's something that's going to be a mainstay in all my households. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in for the second episode of Bar Takes. So please join me next week, and I will have who are we having on?
No, we don't know. Just say it.
We all right. Cut. Thank you for joining for the second episode of Bar Takes. Next week, I'll have some more interesting guests on, and we will let you know that as soon as it goes. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope next week you'll have a drink on me. Cheers, and to the empty cup, whatever.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
The next one. See you next
Thank you.
Monday.
Thank you, guys.